So thanks for hopping on, everybody. I'm excited about this call. And as I was kind of researching this topic and listening to a couple other calls on the same subject, it got me just even more pumped because it's things that I know I need to work on with my, my own business and how I, deal with obstacles and overcoming objections, because I think from day one, you get objections and there's obstacles from day one. So anyway, before we jump into that, just a couple announcements. We started the new Coach Basics today. Sarah and I started, and that'll run for 14 days. And what's cool is Kelly's Coach Basics for Team Hard Hitters will start on the 14th. So that's nice to have kind of 2 a month. So if you have coaches join our team a little bit later in the month, you can pop them into that group, and then they kind of still get a good kickstart, and they don't have to wait a full month before the next one starts. So that's on the Team Hard Hitters page if you need to add anybody to that. And then I wanted to talk about the weekly Zoom chats that Jess is so graciously hosting for us. So it's kind of just like a chat session that everyone can get on and just talk about how everything's going and bounce ideas off one another. So I'm super excited she took the reins to do that. It'll just be fun for people who just want to talk Beachbody and there's no one else around that wants to listen to it. So I'm excited that she'll be doing that. And that'll be Wednesdays, right? Okay, every Wednesday. Okay. And time is the same every Wednesday?
Yep, 8:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
And then April 2nd is our next Super Saturday. So I hope everyone, whatever area you're in, can find one to go to. They're just such fun events, and it's nice just to kind of see what's going on and see what's coming up with Beachbody. It's got great energy. Even if you go to a smaller one in your area, they're just really cool to get to connect to other coaches in your area and talk about Beachbody and learn, the things that are coming up. I don't know about where you guys are, but it's super windy here. Anyway, it's really loud. And then lastly, the 22-minute hardcore launch today. So I saw a bunch of people already purchase that. I'm excited to get mine too. So woo woo. Who's hosting challenge groups? I don't have one on the books yet. Margot, Laura, cool. Oh, Brenly, nice. Yeah, and your husband's rocking it. That's cool too.
Yeah, he's gonna do this one with me.
That's awesome. Perfect. That's a perfect one, right? For you guys. So, like I said, today's call is about overcoming obstacles and facing objections. And really, those are two very different things in my mind, and kind of I've broken them down differently. I'm going to talk about obstacles first. And obstacles are things that just get in your way when it comes to success. Now, I'm not talking about, really people objecting to certain things about Beachbody, more about I listed a couple that kind of just popped in my mind when I was thinking about what stands in my way from me having success as a coach and running challenge groups and helping my customers. And they were things like having self-doubt, playing the comparison game, whether it's comparison between your fitness level and someone else's, or your coach rank and someone else's. Not hitting Success Club, that can be a big obstacle if you're really just every month really just trying to push for Success Club and you're just not getting it. That's a huge obstacle we can face because, it's been proven that hitting Success Club is kind of really related to moving your business forward. So that's a big obstacle we face. Having unsupportive family and friends, or people in your life that just don't really understand, what you do as a coach, and they just don't get it. I think that's a big obstacle for a lot of people. And dropping rank, that's a big one. You work so hard to get to a certain rank in your business, and then all of a sudden a coach goes inactive, or someone quits, and your rank drops. So that's a huge obstacle we face all the time. Hearing no a lot is a really, really, really big obstacle, but it's one I'm going to touch on actually for objections too. And then the last obstacle I think everyone can really relate to, and that's just not having enough time in your day. We hear that all the time, right? And it's true. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but it's really what you do with that time. So I just went through and kind of wrote down a couple things about what I do when, I'm faced with these objections not objections, but obstacles, and how I think we can move past them and work with them, because they're going to be there. They're always going to be there. And it's what we do with them that proves us to be successful. So the first one is, first and foremost, when it comes to self-doubt, it's all about personal development. And we say this till we're blue in the face, but it really, truly is. You have got to have a strong mind in this business to succeed. You can, it's totally cool to like vent to your success partner or a friend of yours that's a coach or whatever. And we all do that. We all vent. We all have bad days. But you have to be able to move past that moment of self-doubt and know that it's all part of the journey. Whatever crisis you're going through at the moment, you're probably going to go through it again, and you'll get through it if you have that strong mindset and if your personal development is on point and you're just doing that daily. Because I really, really, truly believe that when it comes to any obstacle that we face in this business, it comes back to mindset. So growing that strong mind through personal development is really, really key. And the next thing I want to touch on is you really have to put blinders on. And specifically when it comes to comparing yourself, like I said, whether it's fitness-based or coaching-based, it almost hinders us from being excited or supportive for other coaches when we see people, that maybe started the business at the same time as us and they're just taking off. And they, it seems like everything is coming so easy and they're hitting rank and getting a ton of Success Club points or running whatever 12 challenge groups a month. I've always loved the saying that you cannot compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. It's just not something we can do. And if you do that, you're only hurting yourself, because you're going to have success if you're doing the vital behaviors and especially your personal development and keeping those blinders on and just knowing that this is my path that I'm taking. We all have a different path, and you just have to remember that. So it gets really hard and it gets sticky sometimes, but knowing that this is my journey, this is my path, this is where I'm headed. It's not going to be straight. It's definitely going to be like this, but put the blinders on and just go. The next thing when it comes to hearing no is you got to have thick skin, right? We all hear no. And actually for me, I'm excited when I hear no, because at least somebody freaking messaged me back. Like, at least they messaged me back enough to say no. And it's not someone who just completely ignored my message or my post or whatever. But I like no, because, and this is something especially new coaches kind of have to trust me on, that I wish I would have paid attention to this when I was a new coach, and all those people that said no to me that came back as customers 6, 7, 8 months later, or even coaches, mind you, that it happens. It just takes time. And those no's or those not right nows, you just have to trust that those are truly not right nows, because so many people are watching your journey. If you're sharing what you're going through as a coach through your fitness, they're watching, and they will, eventually, not everyone, but a lot of them, take my word for it, come back to you and do become customers or even coaches. So that no, love it. Love hearing the no, because at least then it starts the conversation. So really don't even think of the no's as obstacles. Those are like nuggets almost. And then no matter what, you just really have to stay positive. Whatever obstacle you're facing in that month or that week in your coaching business, just don't let it drag you down, because that negativity, if you are, letting it consume you, it's going to come across in your posts. It's going to come across in how you run your challenge groups, how you reach out to people. It's funny because even though we're just a lot of the time just writing messages through Facebook, people can sense like your mood and your urgency, especially if you're coming across like, oh, I'm just so desperate. I got to get that challenge pack sold. And it's like people, they pick up on that. So just stay positive, because otherwise it's going to kind of permeate into kind of everything you do as a coach. And we definitely don't want that. So that in a nutshell is kind of what I want you to think about when you think of those obstacles that I said in the beginning, and how you can kind of tackle them each month. Because a lot of those, like, what did I list? 7 or 8 obstacles. I think I face probably every single one of those every month. So you just have to know to push past them. And then the next thing I want to talk about is objections. And I broke this into kind of 2 categories. One is objections with products, like, sales and products, and the other objections are with coaching. So I'm going to start with the objections that I think every single one of us has probably heard. Shakeology is too expensive. Love that one. The next one is, I'm a gym person. I don't work out at home. Like that one too. That was me right here. Sure, I'll do your challenge group, but a friend let me borrow T25. Can I just do that? Like that one too. So I kind of went through how I handle these different objections. So when it comes to Shakeology cost, I think you all can agree that people, if it's important to someone, they're going to find a way. And if you're telling them all the awesome benefits of Shakeology and you're telling them how it's truly helped you in your health, in your family's health, that's all you can do is tell them the benefits. If they truly think it's too expensive, at least right now, then that's their MO. That's what they're going to stick with, and that's okay. And a great option is to always offer them a sample pack or the super sampler that's online. It's a great way to try every flavor, and it's not as expensive. They can just try a few at a time, or if you sell sample packs yourself, just giving them a couple to try and doing it that way, because at least maybe they'll feel the benefits even over that 7 days that they get that trial pack, and they're like, oh, I really do like how this is making me feel. So the cost objection, it's always going to be there. And like I said, if it's important to people, they'll find a way. I'm not a gym person. A cool way to deal with this one, and I liked when we did the hammer and chisel group, Brenly, you were at the gym most of the time doing your hammer and chisel because they had all the equipment. So she used her Bluetooth headphones and she set up her phone, I'm assuming, right? And
or my laptop.
Or your laptop in the gym because she had all the equipment there. And just tell people that. It's like you can still be a gym person and do Beachbody. You can take it with you to the gym. That's kind of what when On Demand first came out about a year ago, that's what Carl Deichler talked about, is that he's like, I'm presenting this because I want people to be able to use it at the gym or at home. It's really, a huge thing that people can take with them and just have streaming all the time. So that's a great way to start with somebody that's like, oh, I'm just a gym person. Let them know that they can still use it at the gym, or that they can still go to the gym or run and do whatever they like to do. And maybe even present it to them as like, I love that you're a gym person. I was that way too, because I was. And I said, I'd love to get your opinion about maybe if you try On Demand for a month, work out from home, and let me know what your results are. And kind of present it to them like they're a tester for you. Like you really want their opinion and know how it works for them and if it makes a difference in their health. And say, try it for a month. The trial is free for the first 30 days. And then, just let me know. I just really would like your opinion since you're such a gym person. So that's kind of a cool way to be able to present it to somebody who just says, I can't work out at home. The person who says, I have T25 barred from a friend, I always let those people in my challenge groups because to me, at least they're doing a Beachbody program. They're obviously going to get good results if they're following it strictly and really being involved in your challenge group. To those people, especially if they're objections to the cost, I'll still offer the Shakeology sampler. And at least, they're getting a taste of what a challenge group is. They're in there. I've had a ton of people who have borrowed programs and turned into customers. I don't know what they do at different Super Saturdays, but one thing I love as an icebreaker, we have a lot of people at our Super Saturday, like 300, and they'll have everybody, they go, raise your hand if you bought T25 off Amazon, or if you illegally burnt it, or if you borrowed it from a friend. So it's true, like so many coaches start out that way, and you see those hands go up and you're like, okay, I'll let those people in my challenge group because look at all these people that turned into coaches. So I really like letting those people in my groups because at least they're doing programs and they're doing Beachbody. So next is coaching objections. And these are a lot of the ones we talk about, especially on the What Are Coaching calls that, either Kelly's, whichever one you send to people, she touches on all these kind of in in that call. And we also talk about in our sneak peek groups, the objections being for coaching: I don't have time. I don't want to sell. That's a big one. Everyone I know is already a Beachbody coach, and I feel like it's all saturated. That's one I've been hearing a lot lately. I'm not where I want to be physically, or I'm not a trainer, not a nutritionist, that kind of thing. And I don't want to be in a pyramid scheme. Of course, no one does. And I don't know a lot of people. So here's what I say with each of those. So when people say I don't have time, we got to do, I don't know if you guys watched the training with Kelly on the buckets, but we got to do this training with Jeremy Redd from Beachbody Corporate when we were in Tahoe. And it was like a epiphany, life-changing, out-of-body experience about, oh my God, I can do this and just do it with like an hour or two a day if I'm focused in my time and I really put everything I have into that one solid hour. So setting a timer, working from a list, being systematic about how you're working, not sitting there and just scrolling through Facebook and looking at all the other coaches' posts and being like, oh, I wish I thought of that post, or I need to post this. You know, you need to be working from a list. You can be effective and be super, super successful and still work on that 1 to 2 hours a day. Just talking with Kelly in Tahoe, she literally spends 2 to 3 hours a day on coaching. That is it. Granted, she hired, now she has an assistant as well, but even in the beginning, she only dedicated that small chunk of time because that's all she had in her day. And I feel like that's really helped me focus. So if you're working from a list and doing all those things, I think that objection to not having time is baloney. So tell people that. Be like, we have the tools to help you be successful as a coach if you want to be, for how to manage your time, which is cool because we do. And then when it comes to that objection that I don't want to sell, that one is easy because, as all of us know, we're not about selling, we're about helping. And if you let people know that, you're sharing and helping. You're sharing these awesome programs that you've fallen in love with, the nutrition you've fallen in love with, and you just want so many more people to know about it and to be affected by it because it has such an impact on your lives. I know that's really the only reason I signed up as a coach in the beginning, because I just wanted to keep going with these challenge groups and get my Shakeology paid for and make everyone feel as awesome as I felt after those first couple challenge groups I did. So just reassure people that have those objections about not wanting to sell that it really is about helping, and that's the core of what we do. The objection about everyone I know is already a Beachbody coach and it's kind of a saturated market. That's a tough one because it's true. The company has grown a lot even this last year. I think like 100,000 coaches strong since this time last year, like 100,000 more. So, and that's not all business building coaches, as we know, that's discount coaches too. But when it comes to that, you can let people know that anybody can buy Beachbody programs from anywhere. The infomercials that are on all the time, the internet, whatever. But what they're really buying into is you and your unique personality and what you bring to the table. So you can share that with them too. Like if they're saying, well, there's Beachbody coaches everywhere. It's like, yeah, but there's none like me or none like you. You just have to, put that out there that yes, there's a lot of coaches, but there's more to it than that. So that's one I've kind of just been hearing a lot lately that I wanted to touch on. And then a big objection, I'm not where I want to be physically. It's so much better to be on your journey. It's so much better. People relate to you and they see that you're a real person and that you have a lot of, you have a lot of weight to lose and you're willing to put in the hard work right beside them, month after month in your challenge groups. So I'd say that's almost a blessing that, that objection is to not be where you want physically, because you're going to have a great transformation and be able to share that with people. The pyramid scheme thing, I mean, we all know this isn't a pyramid scheme because it's multi-level marketing, but you can kind of tell people when they come at you with that objection that if you know much, I know there's some newer coaches on here, but if you know much about our compensation plan, it's really as your team grows, like that helps everyone on the team. So you're getting compensated because everyone's growing and everyone beneath you is getting compensated for the same thing. So you can kind of reassure them in that way, and that it's really a team effort when it comes to income and compensation and those kind of things. And then this one's huge. I get this one all the time. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know a lot of people. I don't have a lot of friends on Facebook. I'm not into social media, that kind of thing. And what you can tell people is, you know, I was the same way when I started out. I only had a couple hundred friends on Facebook, but we give you the tools to help you reach out, expand your market. You also get free leads after you become an Emerald coach and you hit Success Club. You get free leads every month on people who buy programs off the internet or infomercials. So you get access to those people that you can expand your network. You also get a ton of referrals. I know probably all of us sitting here have gotten at least a couple. Even if you're a newer coach, you know, people say, oh, my sister wants to join a challenge group, or my mom, or whoever. So referrals are huge. That's how you meet people, and that's how you grow your network. And then just adding a couple friends each day on Facebook, writing that 100 names to start out with as a new coach, and tackling it every day. And not even as a new coach, rewriting that name of 100, or rewriting that list of 100 names, you know, a couple times a year, and just kind of chipping away at that. Again, in that really focused power hour time. So are there any other objections that people have, like that you guys have heard that I didn't talk about, of things? Go for it, Laura.
Sorry. People usually say, I don't think I'd be any good at it. Like, you're so good at it, or I could never do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I'm sharing it with you.
Yeah.
I don't want to know how to, like, other than saying, like, I'm the one telling you you'd be amazing at this.
Mm-hmm. That's a tough one, because that just has to do with people's, like, self-confidence, I think. And I remember, too, being a brand new coach, and I remember the first picture I ever posted of myself in, like, a sports bra and, like, my stomach showing on a Facebook. I was, like, cringing because I was so, like, nervous. But, you know, and not everyone has to do that. Not everyone has to post their bikini pics or whatever it is. Everyone's going to have their own style and their own way of doing things. But I know that's a tough one when people say that, because you really just really ooze to them how much you believe in them, and keep telling them the reasons why you think they would be amazing.
I will say that I actually just got off the phone with her before this call. I've been working on her for like 6 weeks, and she's probably going to sign up tomorrow. So
yay! Well, you said whatever you said, it was the right thing.
Yeah, it comes around.
Yeah. And I was just talking to another coach today who was, we were going back and forth about what coaching call to send someone that was younger, and just, you know, I like Kelly's, but it does come from like a mom's perspective. So she was just asking if I knew of one. And I think it was, I don't know, I was in a training once. I think it was Lindsay Matway that said, you can never say the wrong thing to the right person. And I truly believe that. And you can never say the right thing to the wrong person. You can tell somebody up and down that they would be a great coach and, you know, say all the right things. And if it's not for them, it's not for them.
Do you guys always send like a YouTube video or a coaching call when you have someone that's like kind of semi-interested? You always send them something?
I do. So when I send a coaching invite to someone, I usually kind of leave it a little vague, and I just say why I think they would be great. And then if they were a challenger, I would say, you're rocking this challenge group. You are basically doing what I'm doing, as you would be a great coach. And then I would say, have you ever considered becoming a Beachbody coach? And most of the time people say no. Sometimes they say yes. And if they get back to you and then would you like to know a little bit more? And sometimes they'll say, oh, sure. Like, they're really flattered. And I send them a coaching call. Usually that's the next step that I do.
Are they posted anywhere? Like, can you post a couple on the
Yes, so there's a list on the Hard Hitters website, which is teamhardhitters.com. And then the password is hardhitters987, and the first H is capitalized in that. And on there, under coach info, I believe, it's on the right-hand side, and it says, what is coaching calls? And it's a Word document with all the internet links. And it's got like Janelle Summers, all of the big ones on there, Kelly's and everything.
Are they all different, like different perspectives?
Yeah, there's like, I know Sarah Gobbs is like she's a nurse, so she worked like 3 nursing jobs when she became a coach. So that's a good one to have. That's the one that Sarah sent me. And it worked, obviously. So. Any other objections people are hearing lately? New ones? Any interesting ones? Or are those kind of all of them?
I was talking to a guy about 22-minute hardcore, and he's like, "Yeah, I just don't have time for it."
Oh,
It's 22 minutes.
well, sucks for you. It would really be a bummer not to have 22 minutes free in my entire day, but
I
Really got a time management.
yeah.
Well, it's so funny too. Him, like, they're newly married, like a year. They don't have any kids. He's trying to start a business, but I'm like, he lost like 60 pounds in the last year. I'm like, you would be amazing. Like, this would be great, because now he's at the point where he needs to like fill it out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, I don't have time. Maybe in a year.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You'll find those 22 minutes sometimes in the next year.
Yeah, I will check back with you in a year. It's definitely going to happen.
Yeah. Oh man, I know the time one gets me. I'm like, we're all busy, It's like about finding people who, if it's important to them, they'll find a way to afford it. I think the same thing about time. If it's important to you, you will find the time. Like I said, we all got the same amount of time in a day, and it's just however you prioritize your life and whatever's important to you. So yeah, the time one's a big one, especially with coaching. The time one, I think, is probably I don't know about you guys, but that's probably the biggest one that I get a lot of the time. I don't have time. Yes, no one has time. So, other questions or about what's coming up this month? Has everyone got challenge groups scheduled? Yes.
Dennis, how is your Booty Blaster group coming?
I'm doing awesome. No, so I had a handful of people. Okay, so I'll back up for those of you who don't know what I'm doing. I decided this month to try with a free group, making it be off of a program from Beachbody On Demand, and it was a required. They had to sign up for the free 30 days because I'm make it easier to transition, and they get it. And I had a few people interested, and I sent them the registration, and no one filled it out. So on Coach
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so I'm like, I am doing my 6-day Booty Blaster. I have like all my meals. I did my shopping. It's hilarious. If you haven't done Brazil butt lift.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
It comes with a pencil. Did you know that? And it's supposed to be a pencil test. And if if your butt and leg can hold a pencil, you don't have a lifted enough butt.
That is awesome.
I don't think I'll ever pass the butt test.
I don't think anyone believes you, Sarah, because everyone in Tahoe didn't believe you.
It's so true. One of my friends got it when it was like a brand new program. Her husband got it for her.
So I really I used to order stuff off infomercials whenever I'd babysit for my sister, and it was really hard not to order Brazil butt lift. I'm like, is this a real thing? Like, is this for real? Because he is hilarious.
Yeah.
And so today was day 1, and it was so fun. Like, I had a girl say that she didn't really like it. It was kind of boring to her. But it just reminds me, like, I really like Size, but his style's just a little different than mine.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a little lost. But this was like totally, it was like doing Zumba again, and it was just
Yeah.
and so I'm like super like, I'm like, I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. I said
good for you, good for you for doing it. Because that's a huge obstacle we face, having people just having no one sign up for our groups, and look at you still doing it, and you're still going to be that much more fit afterwards, and that's awesome.
I'm seriously, so excited. Like, so I'm like bloated and PMSing. So I'm like, my results are going to be amazing because
That's strategic.
go away. And so I'm going to have these.
Everyone sign up. So no one knows. Like,
Yeah.
keep posting.
Yeah. And I mean, the meal plan on it, it's called the Supermodel Slim Down, and it's like 1,000 calories a day. And so I'm like, but it specifically says in there, like, don't do this for more than 6 days.
Yeah.
Like, not a healthy lifestyle. This is like something's coming up.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So, yeah, I'm really excited. It's funny. It has words like synergy in there. I'm like, oh yeah, this is totally like 6 years ago. But it's fun. So my booty blaster's going great for me. Thank you.
Awesome. Oh, one thing I wanted to start the call out with, and I got too excited and got into everything. I just wanted to congratulate everyone on such a rockin' February because it was like nuts. Our team just seriously killed it. Success club points, rank advancements. I mean, coaching, like it was awesome, you guys. And I was so impressed. I was in Maui, and then I had my phone totally crap out on me, and I was struggling, but I was just trying to check in with everybody when I could. And it was just like such an amazing month. And you guys just helped me push harder when I got home. And it's just like, I was just blown away. Like posting this morning's volume, tally, I was just in awe of everyone, especially some of the newer coaches on our team. It's just so awesome to see everyone hitting the ground running and really going for it out the gate. And even coaches who have been in it a long time still being consistent and successful each month. So bravo to everyone. I'm just, yay, very happy mama bear. So that is super awesome. So let's outdo ourselves this month. Yeah, deal? No. Any other questions from anybody? I hope that was helpful about how to handle some of those things we hear on a daily basis. At least I know I hear them. But
I was going to say, I think that the objections that come up are always going to be the same.
mm-hmm.
Once you kind of learn how to, navigate through those objections, it'll become natural, and you'll just kind of figure out how to kind of okay, well, we're going to go in this direction instead of that way that you're going, and that negative path. So just try to bring it to a positive light, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. And I think until, especially as a newer coach, until you know which way to navigate, just having that positive mindset for yourself and doing that personal development and just letting things roll off your back, because people are going to say no, coaches are going to quit. It's the name of the game. So just like Brendan said, you'll just eventually get to a point where you're like, no, okay, moving on. No, okay, let's try this. So nope, okay, next thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, ask questions. Ask lots of questions.
Yes. It's great just to get the dialogue going with people. I always come at people with, what are your goals? What type of things do you like to do for exercise, or, when it comes to inviting for challenge groups, and just getting that communication going back and forth, because people really do appreciate your opinion, and they appreciate the time you're putting into them. And I think that, and like I said, that's the thing you don't get from the infomercial. They don't get that. They don't get you. So, but
yeah, for sure.
Well, thanks for hopping on, everybody. We'll go ahead and wrap it up unless there's any more questions. All good? All right. Oh, and I know the Team Hard Hitters call is on Thursday, and then Jess's call tomorrow if anybody wants to hop on and just chat away Beachbody stuff.
They're honestly, little plug, they're really great. They're really fun. We had in our Beachbody Cup group, we had them going on, and I feel like it was really helpful. And just bounce ideas off of each other. So.
Isn't that so much fun that we were like, can we keep doing this every week?
Yeah.
No, I think that's a great idea, especially if people just are feeling.
You don't have to do it.
Right.
Yeah, it's totally optional if you want to get on and just chat and whatever. Love it. I'm glad you are doing that. All right, everyone. Well, have a great night. And thanks for watching. And we'll see you later. Right.
Bye.